Afternoon, everybody that might be out there. So, today I was thinking about a verse in the Bible about forgiveness, which is in Matthew chapter 5, verse 38 to 48. And it states, "But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on their right cheek, turn to him the other also." And then in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verse 3, we have an attitude of forgiveness towards others, courage, goodwill towards others, and freedom from pride. All of these, dear Arjuna, are considered by me to be the great characteristics of a man who possesses a divine nature. So the common thread between these two is the idea of forgiveness. In Matthew it says not to resist, just turn the other cheek. So that attitude of forgiveness has come through here in Bhagavad Gita with an attitude of forgiveness. Courage is mentioned because it does take courage to forgive people who wrong you. It does take courage. Goodwill towards others. That doesn't necessarily mean goodwill towards their behavior or goodwill towards their personality characteristics which are controlled by their ego. It means goodwill towards their soul. And freedom from pride, because it does take a certain amount of humility to do this forgiveness mode. And so both of these texts, both of these scriptures are talking about the idea of not reacting, responding, resisting, just an attitude of forgiveness. And since I've been reading these scriptures in detail, for myself, this has come through in my life. I can think of two very recent examples. Always when I drove, I would get road rage. If people would, because I never ever pushed in front of people, so I didn't expect them to push in front of me. And they did. And every time you try to leave a gap, someone would push in, or you'd be in a lane and you'd queued to turn right for ages and ages, and someone would come up on the left and they would just go right to the front and just push in. And I would get absolutely enraged. And certainly there was no forgiveness going on in my heart for that. And I was quite known for driving around flashing and hooting at people who wronged me also, I thought. And I don't think I've flashed or hooted. I know I haven't flashed or hooted anyone for probably a year. So since I started doing these readings and took it on board. So it's just not worth it. It's just affecting my own spiritual progress. So one should not let your own spiritual progress be derailed by these anti-scriptural responses. In fact, one should have compassion for the person that's wronged you, because they are damaging their own spiritual progress by the way in which they are behaving. They, in their anti-scriptural behaviors, are going off the tracks, off the spiritual tracks, and this is not good for them. So I should have compassion for them and meantime continue to focus on my own spiritual journey. The other example is a man who I tried to deal with long distance to do some repairs upon the house of somebody whose home I try to look after from afar. And he just, well, basically he was a con man. He told fibs. He didn't have the skills he said he had. He did terrible jobs. He did incomplete jobs. He kept putting the price up. I kept having to pay more and more. And in the end, I realized that he was a con man and a certain amount of money was already gone. And, I really, really pulled upon all these scriptures, and I did him a message on Messenger in which I said to him, you probably are a good person somewhere inside, and you probably have reasons why you're doing this, and I'm not going to pursue it, and I'm not going to deal with you anymore. So you may collect your tools and move to your next job, but I am not going to fight to get that money back. That money, you may keep it, and I bless you, and I wish you all the best for your own spiritual journey. And that was where I left it. In the past, I would have been stopping at nothing to get that money back or to get some sort of action against that man, because that was an injustice and an abuse of trust. But now I try to view that man with compassion, and I've just put that behind me because I'm not going to have my spiritual journey derailed. So in terms of our everyday lives, I hope these two texts from two very different scriptures, but actually two very similar scriptures, can be of use to somebody out there. I'll keep on looking. I keep on finding more and more and more common messages. So the message today that both scripts agree on is that of forgiveness. Yeah, thank you.